Yeah, I was gonna be
Yeah,
air traffic
baby.
control, but I failed the hearing test, Mike. I went to Pensacola and everything for the school. They put you through the same flight, damn near the same flight schools, you know. Um, but I got DQ'd for hearing, so I couldn't be an air traffic controller, which worked out because I ended up being in finance for the
Damn.
military. So it all worked out. It all worked out.
Damn, dude.
And I had orders to Oki, bro. I was gonna go to Japan. It's crazy, bro. How one thing just
Dang.
alters everything in your life, right? Like I had orders to Oki, I had orders to Japan. That's where we were gonna go first, and then we ended up
Okinawa
coming
was
here.
beautiful, bro.
It is beautiful. It is. No, 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 I've heard
Yeah.
nothing. And I've been like, I've never been stationed there, but I've gone and for training and different TADs and stuff. But
Yeah, man.
and families love it there. But no, man, I ended up
Yeah.
coming to Cali for my first duty station. So yeah, crazy, bro. One thing, if my ears weren't as bad from tanks, I would be an air traffic controller in Japan. What's
Okinawa
up,
was
Sam
Dang, man.
too
Salinas?
humid. Okinawa was too
Yeah. Oh yeah,
humid.
it's crazy humid. It's
Oh,
stupid humid. Yeah, it
it's,
is. It is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was over in Japan for most of my career, and no, I
Gotcha.
wouldn't go back to Okinawa.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Look at
sure.
Chris Gonzalez says, "Hey Joe, you hiring? I heard Nico Harrison needs a job."
Yeah, yeah. What's up,
What
Chris Gonzalez,
happened?
Bobby February, all the regulars in the chat. Sean
Hey, Joe.
Quintero, what's up, big dog?
Hey, Joe. How do I hit the chat? Or
You
do have to
can't.
bounce?
I'm in control.
Okay, but when you
I'm in
bounce,
control.
when you bounce, are you gonna be on the show?
I can probably just be on for a little bit because I think it's a bit much having four of us on here. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you guys go, and I'll probably have to do the producing behind the scenes for you guys.
Very nice.
They finally let go of Nico. Finally, like, come on, bro. That mother should have been let go a long time ago.
Fire Nico. Did they officially do it or not?
Yep.
Okay.
Where the dreams don't fade from the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210. Oh, it's the life that we chose.
We're rising together on a victory Tuesday. Your San Antonio Spurs are 8-2 after beating the Chicago Bulls last night in dramatic fashion, 121-117. This may be Area 210 podcast. Again, we're powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. This may be Area 210, but the fact of the matter is, of the four faces you see, only one's in the 210. That's Joe Garcia producing today's show. We have Spernandez in the 619. We got Jason Garcia in the 503. And I'm in Conroe right now in the 936, the Area 210 podcast, again, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Joe was supposed to take the day off, but we had technical difficulties. So we had to reel him back in so that we
I'm
could
back.
have a show today. But
Yeah. Joe
fantastic.
makes it look easy. Joe makes it look easy, but we could not, us three could not figure out how to get the show up and running without Joe. Joe was trying to sleep in, he was trying to mind his own business, and we had to bother him. So I'm telling you, man, I appreciate everything you do, Joe, because like I said, you make it look easy, dog, but
Yeah.
you doing things that no one even knows you're doing back there.
No,
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Joe had asked the question after trying to like troubleshoot this whole thing with me today because he says, Jimenez, you need to know how to do this because I'm not going to be here all the time. You need to know
Yeah.
how to do this. So I
Yeah.
got logged on, but the problem that I had was I had Zoom on from my
Yeah.
last work
Mm.
meeting. And he goes, dude, after all this, tell me that you don't have Zoom on. I was like,
Yeah.
oh crap, but I had to like turn it off.
It
And
was so it was taking over
that cleared up everything. But man, it's a fantastic day. Who would have thought, Joe? Who would have thought Spernandez? Who would have thought, Jason, that at the end of 10 games, the Spurs would be 8-2. There's only one person on Spurs Twitter who thought that, and that was Zed's Dead, who predicted that
Mhm.
early on, right? But I think she was
She
just
did.
joking. She was joking at the time, though. But lots
Maybe.
going on with last
Yeah.
night's game, and I want to get into this. Joe, I'm glad that you didn't bow out of today's show because you need to have a signature on the Wemby apology form
Oh hell no! I ain't
because
signing
Wemby,
nothing.
Too early.
Wemby became the first person in NBA history to score 35 plus points. He had 38 last night. To score 35 with double-digit rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 assists, and 5 3-pointers. Had never happened in NBA history. The Spurs did it last night. Joe, what were your thoughts on Wemby last night?
Mira Wemby. He actually decided to play. You know, the rest of the team was pure garbage, bro. Like that bench, they were playing like ass cheeks, man. Like if the bench didn't show up, like the starting five, and I had even told this to Rick. I'm like, bro, the starting five can't win the game all by themselves. Like you can't always rely on your starters. You got to get some help from some of the other guys. It wasn't for Wemby finally just saying, you know what, hold my beer, man. I'm tired of this crap, and taking over that game, and finally going ahead and saying, look, man, I'm gonna play like a generational type of player today, and I'm going to go ahead and win this one. It wasn't for Wemby doing those heroics, bro. They would have lost this game because they were pretty much left for dead. Like they were right there within striking distance, but they just couldn't stop the Bulls. They were hitting threes. They kept on, making little runs here and there. But finally, the Spurs got some stops. Wemby finally played like Wemby, and you know what? He's the one. It wasn't for Wemby. This would have been an L. It would have been an ugly L too for the Spurs, but Mira Wemby, he played good, and I'm going to give him his dues. He did great, but the problem that I have with Wemby is that he doesn't do it consistently. He gets off to those slow starts, 2 points, halftime, 2 points, 4 points. I'm like, he needs to get off to better start than that, I think, and maybe he will now because you have the return of Fox. Now with Fox in the mix, that's your second scoring threat. So now the whole focus isn't just going to be on Wemby. Now Wemby can actually maybe thrive a little bit more because you got Fox out there. I think now that you have a second scoring threat, we're going to see Wemby be maybe a little bit more consistent. And that's all I wanted out of him. If he is more consistent, I'll sign the apology form. But what did I say? He either drops a 50-point game, right? 50 piece, or I give him the 20 games and then I look at it and I'll go ahead and maybe sign the form at that point in time.
Yeah, at the 20 games mark, the Spurs are 14-6 or 15-5. I don't care what his stats are, you have to sign it. Well, I got Spurs Hernandez's opinion on this because Joe was talking about the fact that Wemby gets off to slow starts. It was a concerted effort last night for Wemby to get going early on. He was very aggressive early on. He was taken into the hole repeatedly last night. What were your thoughts on Wemby at the start of the game? And now I know he had 18 points in the final frame, more points than the Chicago Bulls altogether. But your thoughts, Fernandez, on Wemby taking it to the hole, getting those buckets early, and getting in rhythm early in the game?
Yeah, real quick, Jonathan C. gave a shout out to the Marine Corps birthday that was yesterday. I appreciate you, Jonathan. Hoorah. 250 years of kicking ass and taking names as Marines. But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of shaking my head a little bit when Joe was talking, just because I hear what he's saying, but that was 2 games out of 10, honestly. Like if you want to talk about I'll give you that, right? Those 2 games that Wemby had single digits or whatever. That's 2 games out of 10, which I don't know if that's not doing it consistently. 8 out of the 10 is consistent in my opinion, but he's got the clutch thing, where at the end, like I said, those two threes that were just daggers, right? And he seems to definitely have it at the end of the game. I will agree somewhat with Joe as far as like the beginning. It does need to get in rhythm more. He needs to get some early ones early, or early easy ones early. Maybe get to the line, get some dunks. Because yeah, he can kind of start off to a slow start, but again, they're aggressively and they're attacking him, double, triple teaming him. It's important to get in rhythm early, but it's even more important to be in rhythm late. So to me, I think it would help to get Wemby like 40 and 50 if he's like hitting early, but 30 and hitting clutch at the end, I'll take that all day long. Twice on Sunday.
10 games into the season, the Spurs are 8-2. Wemby's averaging 25.7 points per game, 12.8 rebounds, 3.9 blocks. That's leading the league in blocks. That's second in rebounds in the league, and 3.4 assists per game. Jason, seeing the Spurs last night go to 8-2 against the Bulls, it was a very interesting game. I will say this, though. I don't know what you guys were watching. Did you guys watch it on the Spurs telecast, broadcasting, or the Bulls broadcasting? Because I was watching on Amazon Prime last night. They did not give me an option for the Spurs. They said it was blacked out in my area. But I'm glad at the end of the day that I got to listen to it on the Bulls side of things. I'm going to get into that in a moment.
What are we going to bag on Will Purdue? Is that what we're going to do here?
Well, no,
are we going to bag on Will Purdue?
Is that who did it for the Spurs? Is that who did it for the Spurs yesterday? Or the Bulls?
Well, I thought that's what you were talking about.
No. We'll get into that in a second.
Will Purdue came on as a guest, and everybody was bashing him on Twitter. First of all, people didn't know who he was. is dead. Our girl from Australia that picked 8-2, she
Ooh,
didn't know who the hell Will Purdue was, first of
Yeah.
all. And so people were like, who is this old guy? Why is he talking?
he's a champion.
Yeah,
He
he was
is.
telling he won with the Bulls, and then he got traded in that Dennis Rodman trade to the Spurs and won in '99, right? So he's a
Yeah.
four-time
Yeah.
champ, three with the Bulls and one with the Spurs. I'll give you this. Purdue was like he was telling these stories which were cool because he was telling like Tim Duncan stories, Robinson stories when Elliott was a rookie and or young in his career. They were cool stories, but he was kind of slow in delivering it. I'll tell you, and people were going in on him. That's what you were talking about, Mike.
No.
People were going. It was a thing on Twitter where everybody was like, "I'm changing to the Bulls broadcast because I can't hear this. I can't listen to this no more." Because
No.
literally, like the whole third quarter, he was talking the whole third quarter. I didn't mind it. I didn't care. But yeah, he was a little slow in what he was saying. So I guess I could see why some people got upset. But yeah,
No,
I
I
saw
was
it.
I was listening to Stacey King, another
Yeah.
former
Okay.
Bulls player.
Oh, Stacey King. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
But
name I ain't heard in a while.
I'm
That's a
gonna get
name
to
I
that.
haven't heard in a
I'm
while.
gonna get into
Yeah.
that in a second, but I want to get Jason's opinion on last night's game. Jason Spurs going off and getting that 121-117 victory. How impressed were you to see Wemby go off at the end and get that W?
Well, I actually didn't watch the Spurs game. I was listening to it on the app, and I'm very grateful that I can listen to it on the app, unlike last season. But real quick, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans, especially you, Rick, and happy Taco Tuesday to everybody.
Appreciate
But
that. Appreciate that.
but just listening to the Spurs and what they were doing, yeah, I agree with Rick and Joe. Wemby has to get off to a better start, at least 10 points by halftime. I mean, he can get all the rebounds, he can get all the blocks he wants, but it's his scoring. I don't think the Spurs can live with him just getting hot in the second half because, I mean, if they're running to an Oklahoma or they maybe even a New York Knicks, Detroit, and they put him behind that 20 points, I don't think Wemby alone and Fox alone can help them bring him back in a game like that.
Now, last night, Wemby did have more than 5 3-pointers made yesterday. He was lighting it up from three. The only Spur to light it up from three. But
Mira Wemby.
what I found funny though was watching the broadcast from the Bulls' perspective, because we watch. We have Sean Elliott doing his thing, and they're homers for the Spurs. But I was kind of pissed off for a while there. I was like, man, I want to watch it on the Spurs broadcast, but the only thing
Mhm.
available is Chicago Bulls.
Mhm.
Listening to a Bulls fan perspective on the Spurs is a different experience because it wasn't haters. Because when you
Mhm.
listen to the Mavericks or the Lakers talk about the Spurs, it's haters. They're just complete haters. But the Bulls praise the Spurs all night long. All night long. And one of the things they kept on saying was they saw Keldon Johnson out there. And they're like, man, he's nice. That guy averaged over 20 points per game.
Yeah.
And the Spurs have him off the bench as their eighth guy.
Yeah.
He goes, when Keldon's your eighth guy, you know that this team's going to be pretty decent. And then,
Yeah.
then they saw Sohan out there. They go, man, Sohan's out there. He'd be starting for us. So
Mhm.
so they saw Keldon out there. They said Keldon would start for us. And when they saw Sohan out there, they said Sohan would start for us. And those are their backup guys. And then they saw Cornette, who played for the Bulls,
The
who
big
was just
Olote.
getting repeated alley-oop from Castle. Repeated,
Oh my God.
repeated.
It was awesome.
They're like he's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And so they
Yeah.
put it all in totality. They're like, you're telling me the Spurs bench is Keldon Johnson, Champagny, Cornette, Dylan Harper, and you look at all the talent the Spurs have on there, not including a Carter Bryant. They said, man, this team is deep. And it was nice hearing this from a different fan base, from a different
Yeah.
perspective, from a different conference come out and say, man, we wish that we had that talent. And the Spurs
Mhm.
rose to the occasion. We need to talk about De'Aaron Fox, because the whole thing about De'Aaron Fox to me was he's going to come back to the Spurs. He's going to man the ship at point guard. But the more we saw this game last night, he didn't run point. He was the off guard. It's
Mhm.
Fernandez. What was up with that?
Mhm.
Because Castle, double-digit assists for the third game in a row. Castle's the point guard.
Yeah.
Harper, when he comes back, is the point guard. Fox is the off
Mhm.
guard. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I saw that. And I will say, kind of going back to what you were saying, because I also have in the past had to, because moving around and depending where I'm at in NBA League Pass, sometimes it doesn't offer, the Spurs broadcast. So I've also had to listen to other broadcasts throughout my time watching the Spurs, being in the military and moving around. And I also do find it interesting hearing somebody's other perspective. It's actually ironic how like Spurs fans are the ones that bag on their own team more than other people probably if you think about it. Like I've met so many people, again, being in the military, moving around. I've met people who like man, the Spurs, they're like, I'm not even a Spurs fan, but like I respect, the organization, all that kind of stuff. So everyone else loves the Spurs and loves the organization and whatever. Our own people. It's your own people that stick the knife in your back, bro. Our own people are the ones that are crying. People were giving up on that game yesterday, and don't act like you weren't. I saw them on Twitter, bro. Halfway through the game, they were like, "This game's over. The Bulls got
No,
it." Blah blah blah. Like
it
whatever.
ain't over
And
till
it's
that
just,
clock hits zero.
but it's just wild to me that there's like a big fan account. I don't follow it, but it comes on my For You because they're a bunch of clowns. But that Spurs culture or whatever, they were already like, this is embarrassing. This game's over. I'm like, you're a Spurs fan account. Like, I mean, I'm not. It's just crazy to me. But whatever. Like if you, I hope they don't give up
They
in their
want the team
real
to blow
life.
out the team every night,
I
Rick.
hope people don't give up that quick in their real life, in their real world. I really do. I really hope they don't. I hope they don't give up as fast as they give up on the Spurs games. But
Oh.
anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. It was interesting. I think with Castle hitting those double digit assists, I think Mitch is rolling with him at point and saying, "Hey, bro, you're hitting double digit assists." That's something no one really thought was going to happen. I mean, so he has turnover issues. Again, I'm not. Again, I get accused of being a homer and all that. I'll tell you what it is. A spade's a spade. He has had some turnover issues that you're like, all right. But again, it's like a Manu thing. Manu was out there doing crazy stuff. Sometimes he turns the ball over. Sometimes he hits. Pop is about to lose his mind with him. I think Harper and Castle are going to have some of that Manu where some nights they're just going to drive us crazy because they're going to turn the ball over because they're just in one speed. They're just like bam, bam, bam. Now of course Castle does those little hezzies, which are amazing, right? So there's going to be some turnovers and all that, but the benefit outweighs the negative in my opinion. So yeah, man, I like it. It's a turn. It's the turns have tabled to see Fox the off guard.
Well, look at this. Look at this, Joe. Look at this. And I appreciate that what you said there with the Hezzies and all that stuff, all the things that Castle's been doing offensively.
Yeah.
He's not getting the All-Star calls though. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
if he
Oh
was Luka
God,
Doncic, he'd be at the line
Yeah.
the entire
Can't
night.
breathe
yeah.
on him. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look at the change of what's going on in the stat line for Castle, going from October 27 to November 2nd. Right, he had some games in which he had 22 points, 21 points, 26 points, but the assists were at 4 and 5.
Mhm.
He's flipped the script a little bit. Last 3 games, his points are 14, 14, and 19, but his assists are 13, 14, and 11.
Mhm.
And then the game before that, on November 5th against the Lakers, he had 8 assists.
Mhm.
So 11, 14, 13, and 8 the last 4 games. He hasn't scored 20 points in those games. He's been averaging around 16 points with the double-digit assists. To me, that is more valuable
Absolutely.
at 16 and 11 than it is
Mhm.
for him to be at 22 and 3 or 22 and
Yes.
4. Joe,
Absolutely.
are you comfortable now, Joe? I know the turnovers are an issue, but I'll allow 4 or 5 turnovers if you're giving 12 assists. Joe, are you okay with what you say from Castle right now?
Yeah, I am. I've been saying I've been okay with Castle. It's you. You've been the one that's been critical. You claimed him as your son last year, and now you're done with him. You went ahead and returned him. You was a foster kid. You said, you know what? Take him. I don't want him here no more.
He's like
Make him
Big
gone.
Daddy. He's like Big
Yeah.
Daddy, man. He was taking
Yeah.
him back.
Take him out of here. I got a new son now, Harper. He's been singing
Mhm.
Harper's praises. So
Yeah.
I don't
Harper's
want you get
good.
the chancla. You're gonna get the chancla for that. But Castle, man, he's been playing good, and I don't mind the way he's been playing. And I said because of the injuries, Castle hasn't been playing his natural position, right? Because you didn't have Fox in the lineup, so he's gonna have turnovers. He's not gonna look quite as good as he did in the prior season. But I said, just hold my beer. Once he starts playing more of his natural position, he's gonna look really good out there on the court. And sure enough, look what's happening now that we got DAA Ron Fox back in the
Aaron.
lineup. He looking good now. So I like Castle, man. I wasn't off the Castle ship. That was you, Miguelito. You're gonna get the chancla for that flip flop too, by the way.
Well, former Bull Stacey King yesterday, just the entire night calling De'Aaron Fox by the wrong name, calling him DeAndre Fox the entire night.
Really? Wow.
DeAndre. Just call him Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing about it is this: is that I have a complete throbbing heart on for a true point guard, for somebody who is a pass first type of guy.
Mhm.
And that's why I like the Dylan Harpers. That's why I like the Stephon Castle in the last 3 games that we've seen Castle. Because again, I was more concerned when Castle was getting 20 points per game, 4 assists, and 7 turnovers. I'm okay with him having 12 or 13 assists as long as he's scoring 14 to 16 points. I like what I've seen the last 3 games, and I think Fox is a different kind of animal. Fox is a scorer. Fox is Kemba Walker. Fox is
Yeah.
he's not a traditional point guard by any stretch of
Yeah.
the imagination. And
He
it
can
gives
be
me
your
it
two
gives me
guard.
pause.
That he could be your two guard. You know what I'm saying? A two guard is generally a scorer, right?
Right.
Fox is clutch and he can score and he can hit. He can hit that midi. I mean, he was hitting a couple of threes. He's not. I don't. He's not a known 3-point shooter, but he hit a couple of threes. He hit that midi. He could score, bro. He's a scorer. He's a hooper. He's a hooper. He's a certified hooper. Like that's
Right.
what Fox is. So at the end of the day, if we thought he was going to be the point guard, bro. If he's just a scorer and Castle and Harper can like tag team that point guard in a double-headed monster thing, bro.
What's your
Bruh.
saying for Fox? What's your
Bruh.
saying for Fox now, Rick?
Fox around and find out. Fox around and find out, bro. Fox around and find out. Hey, we got some ideas about a t-shirt about that, by the way, Joe. I gotta talk to you offline about that. Somebody hit me up on Twitter about that. But yeah,
Bro, I
Fox
like
around
that.
and find out, baby.
I'm going to ask Jason about this because, we talk about scores, right? The Spurs, for what they don't have in 3-point shooting, they make up in scores. The Spurs have Keldon Johnson off the bench. Go out there, go score. Get us 10 points, 12 points real fast. Microwave this thing, get it going. The same thing goes on with De'Aaron Fox as well. Jason, the importance of having scores around Wemby so that Wemby doesn't have to do it all is probably something that we didn't expect this year.
No, I mean, just listening or comparing this year's team to last year's team, you had people to shoot, but they wouldn't score. Now we got Fox. Now we got Castle, who's actually, like you said, facilitating. Rick brought it up. They had Rick to Castle to Cornette, 5 6 lobs. I mean, hell,
that's
yeah,
repeated.
yeah,
Repeated.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's a perfect combination right there. And then, of course, Keldon Johnson being a little bit lighter in weight, but he knows how to use his body now, and he's just going there and playing bully ball. He kind of reminds me of a lighter weight Charles Barkley. He's getting in there, he's scoring. If you want to stop me, you got to foul me, and that's what I like. And then, of course, you got your role players too. I was watching the highlights this morning before the broadcast, and it's like the players are actually moving around without the ball.
Yep.
And that's one thing I like. It's like, this kind of reminds me of when we had the big 3. Yes, you had those 3 scoring at most, but also you had your other role players moving around on offense, moving around on defense, spacing the floor for your shooters. Next thing you know, the Spurs have 30 assists throughout the game. It's like, how in the heck did they do that? Because everybody's starting to know their role, learning it, and how they can benefit from the role, no matter if it's grabbing rebounds, getting in the passing lanes, or heck, maybe even just scoring that simple 15 footer to keep the offense flowing.
Jeremy Sohan, only 10 minutes, man, yesterday. But going back to Castle real fast, one last thing before we put the Castle talk to bed. Just 3 turnovers the last 2 games, 67 minutes played, and his turnovers per game has fallen to just 4.3. For the first 7 games or so, he was at about 6 per game. Now it's fallen to 4.3. We get that to sub 4, 3.8, 3.9. You'll hear no complaints from me, guys, when it comes to it. Sohan, though, only 10 minutes on the court yesterday. Played less than a whole quarter yesterday. Joe, Mita, Sohan on the bench.
Hey, that's a good problem to have, man. Like he played a total of 10 minutes and he had 1 point. It wasn't like he was out there to go and put up.
But there's gonna be nights like that though.
Yeah,
I think it might be a matchup thing. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be nights like that because there's
but
other
like,
nights where he was used more. But
yeah, but the fans
that's
are like,
which
look
yeah,
at Sohan. Look at he only had
yeah,
1 point last night. I'm like, the brother only played 10 minutes. What do
yeah,
you all want him to do? You want him to score
Right.
20, 30 points
yeah.
in those 10 minutes? And they're like, Mira Sohan, he's on the bench. I'm like, hey man, maybe Mitch just felt he wanted to go with another crew, to kind of close the game. Hey man, a win's a win. I don't care who's sitting on the bench. If
Well,
you get the dub, you get the
That,
dub.
and that's also what's interesting because I saw a lot of Mitch slander, and I even see it already in our chat. A lot of people were giving Mitch shit about the lineups or like he's experimenting or he's sending out Lindy Waters or he's
That's
sending
what
out
you
different
do.
folks out there. Yeah, I mean, I don't see the issue. Like, I really don't. Like, at the end of the day, man, you're 8-2 and you're nitpicking on Mitch Johnson about lineups like in the middle of the game that okay, they lost the lead. At the end of the day, they won the game. Like if they were losing, if they were 2-8, you would I saw a tweet that was funny this morning because somebody said somebody's prediction for the Spurs was 2-8, I guess, like at the beginning of the season. And somebody goes, man, this guy's dyslexic. He's dyslexic, because he put 2-8 instead of 8-2.
right.
So it was kind of funny. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, Bobby February says Mitch is trash. Like, I disagree, man. I really, I mean, bro, he brought it. He's running an 8-2 squad that was undefeated in preseason. I can't say. I don't know how someone can say Mitch is trash when this team is 8-2 and they're doing what they're doing. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, anyone can coach Wemby. I don't think that's true either. But again, Wemby's Wemby. I get it. Then if that's the case, then no coach would get credit. Then if that's the case, it's like, oh well, you had Jordan, you had Kobe, so Phil. That's. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's fair to a coach. They do their part, and the players do their part. So I think Mitch is doing a great job. I think the staff, Sweeney, his defensive presence is there. Big Nasty, like the whole staff that Mitch put together is doing amazing. And yeah, 8-2 is Bobby February says 8-2 is the players, has nothing to do with the coaches. That is preposterous. I'm sorry, dude. It's everybody, dude. The coaches, the players, the freaking training staff, like everybody is
Right.
ready. Everybody is we're okay. Today's Veterans Day, right? And Jason's a veteran. I'm a veteran. You don't do what you do with just the general or just the
No,
captain
man.
or just the lieutenant or just the staff sergeant. Like, come on, you can't do that, man. You can't say that. It's all a collective effort. It really is, bro. You go to fucking combat. Everybody from the private to the highest ranking person made that mission successful.
Yeah, you're just as
Jason, am
strong.
I right? Jason,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right. So the one thing that everybody is I guess we're used to, and everybody has to shed. This is not Pop's team anymore. This is Mitch's team.
yes.
He's going to see what fits, what doesn't fit. We're just 10 games into the season. I'm with Joe. Let's wait till 20 games and have that sample size just to see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you know what? I like the depth of this bench because when it comes to the playoffs, yeah, you might have to rely on 5 or 6 players like most teams do.
Right.
But if you have 10 players that you can rotate in and out, and next thing you know, hey, you know what? Our bench is outscoring the other starting 5 for the other team. That'd be great. That means that our starters don't have to do much, but they can also put pressure on the other starters. So you know what? Keep throwing out these lineups and you keep experimenting, see who works. And hey, last night, and I'm going to bring this up again, Castle to Cornet. That is San Antonio CK. Forget Calvin Klein. We have our own CK right now.
Nice.
That
I
is
like that.
important.
I like
I
that. I
love
like
it.
that.
Mhm.
I love it
CK,
right
I
now.
like it.
Castle to Cornet.
CK1. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, there you go.
CK1 is what
CK1.
happened.
I like it. I like it.
You
I
know
like
what I was
that.
gonna
I
say,
like
man?
that.
I was gonna say this. It's a good analogy of the Spurs and Mitch Johnson, right? It's like NASCAR racing, right? In NASCAR, everybody has the same car, pretty much, right? You
Mhm.
have the same engine, you have the tires. You can do little things here and there to give you an edge, but basically everybody has the same type of vehicle. That's kind of like what the NBA has, right? Some cars are better than others, let's be honest, because you have better crew out there as far as like spending more money, you get a better car, whatnot, goes faster, what have you. And that's what happens with the NBA and the teams. But ultimately, that car, it doesn't drive itself. Who's driving that car? The driver. Sometimes it doesn't matter what kind of car you have. It's the driver that's going to win the race. And right
And the
now,
pit crew.
Mitch
And the
Mitch
pit
is
crew.
that Johnson. Mitch Johnson's
Right?
he's the driver.
Yeah. And the
He's
pit
the
crew.
driver.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Mitch Johnson right now, according to FanDuel, is the favorite to win Coach of the Year at plus 430. So you can still get 4-1 odds on Mitch Johnson
God,
winning
I hope
Coach
he
of the
wins
Year.
Coach of the Year because people are gonna look so silly. It just,
Wear the shirt,
you
Rick.
can't make this up, bro. Like you really can't.
And
I
Mitch we
hate to
trust.
be, yeah, Mitch we trust. I hate to, I mean, I say I hate to be that guy, but I don't hate to be that guy because I'm just saying, like, people are just say things that are silly, man. Like stuff comes out of people's mouths and stuff comes from their thumbs on Twitter, and I'm like, what are you like? Ever, man. I'm not gonna again, man. I've been accused in the past of telling people how to fan, and I'm not trying to tell nobody how to fan. I just think it's crazy to say crazy things and then later have to be like, "Oh, I didn't really mean
I didn't
that.
really mean
Go
that.
Spurs!" Yeah, bro,
Some of
I
y'all's
don't know,
mamas was
man.
taking Tylenol, and it's
I
evident, bro. That's all I'm saying, man.
exactly. There you go. There
Hey,
you go, Joe. There you go.
Jason was singing the praises of Luke Cornett. Really, what brought this team back beyond the fact that it was Wemby. Yeah, Cornett last night was 16 points, I believe 7 rebounds, 6 for 8 from the field. But really, they were almost all dunks. They're all alley oops from Castle.
Mhm, mhm,
Mitch didn't deploy French vanilla until the fourth quarter.
mhm.
Wemby, that big lineup of 2 7-footers out there, Wemby and Cornett. Because what was going on was Wemby gets out of the game because of either foul trouble or because of just time to rest. They bring out Cornett, which was a great thing to have. It was a great thing to
Mhm.
have those that still have a 7-footer out there because we
Yeah,
saw this in the loss against the Lakers. You take Wemby out of the game,
I know.
it's a free
I
pass to
know.
the basket.
I
But now
know.
you have another
Mhm.
7-footer out there, and Cornett was holding it down.
Yeah,
But in the
yeah,
fourth quarter last night, you saw them play together, and it
yeah.
was a no-fly zone being deployed out there. French vanilla
French
Fernandez.
vanilla. I love it. I love French vanilla.
What were your
They,
thoughts on those two coming together down the stretch?
I
Rick,
like it, man.
why didn't Jacoby just give the Cornette the nickname, bro, and say it on the broadcast? The big
Take a look.
elote, bro. Come on, bro.
Man. I know. I'm trying, man. I tagged Jacob Toby in some of these tweets to give him that nickname. But yeah, the big elote, man. We got to make it happen. But no, man. I like it. And I agree. I like the whole French vanilla thing, them together. But I also like the way Wemby can sit down and you can bring in another 7-footer, like Mike said. We didn't have that when Cornette was out, and I was at that LA game, and yeah, as soon as Wemby was out, bro, it was you could see the difference was noticeable, obviously. Um, but yeah, man, I like that you can play them separately and together. I think that's a smart approach. Just like play them separately throughout the game early, and then toward the end or whenever, then you're gonna bring your like
Impose your will.
murderers row. Yeah. You're gonna bring your murderers row a lineup or whatever, and
Bring
you
in the
have
air
the French
support, Rick.
vanilla.
Bring in that air
Yeah,
support,
bring the
bro.
tanks, bro. Yeah, exactly. Bring in tanks, baby. Bring in tanks, baby. Walk with the big stick and call in some tanks, baby.
Yeah.
That's what you do. So no, man, I love the French vanilla combination down the stretch, but I also like how they can play separately, so that way Wemby can get that rest, and you don't have that big of a drop off.
Very
Yeah,
nice. Spurs going off.
real
Go,
quick,
go ahead,
just
guys.
looking at the stats, there was a Kelly Olynyk sighting last night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He only played 4 minutes, but still, I mean, if he can get in, next thing you know, you have actually 3
yeah.
7-footers that you can easily rotate out. And
I
You know
was
what? That's
told
a
he
good
was
point.
garbage on defense, bro, but I'm
No,
like,
that you know what? I'll tell you what though. Jason makes a good point because when I was in a game in LA and I didn't realize how big. I mean, I knew he was a 7-footer, but Olynyk is big, dude. Like seeing him in person, I was like, holy shit! Like he's big, dog. Like he's a
he's,
big dude, So yeah,
he's
like
like a
I love.
burrito.
You're
He's
right.
got some girth. He's got some
Yeah,
girth
no,
to him.
Olynyk is a big dude, bro.
hey,
Olynyk,
the ladies like
you know,
that.
I tweeted, hey, you know what they are? You know that aisle at HEB, exciting whites. Exciting whites, the wine, exciting whites. That's what Olynyk and the big elote are, man.
Well, not only was there a Kelly Olynyk sighting, but on the bench with him was Julian Champagny. Champagny
Yeah,
did not start yesterday. In fact, the last
right.
4 games for Champagny, He had 33 minutes played against the Lakers, 31 against the Rockets, 26 against New Orleans, now down to 22 against the Bulls.
Yeah,
Is Champagny suddenly becoming the odd man out? Joe,
I
what do you
think
think
so.
about?
I mean,
Are we
yeah.
gonna have to give him the
Go
name
ahead, Joe. Go
Yeah.
cardio?
ahead.
Are we gonna have to give
No,
him the
I
name?
think. I
By
think.
the way, 0 points last night in 22 minutes. He literally was cardio last night.
I think what happens with Olynyk is that he hasn't played a lot of time, right? We don't really know what he looks like in the context of him being in that rotation and getting some decent minutes. I think right now maybe they're just kind of bringing him in and easing him in because let's be honest, man, he doesn't really know this Spurs system. This is him. This is his first season here. He has to get used to the way Mitch is running things, offense, defense, whatnot. But the small sample size you've seen of Olynyk, at times you look at him and you're like, hey man, this guy ain't half bad. The same thing with Luke Cornett. When the Spurs first signed him, I remember Spurs fans are like, oh man, why'd they sign this white boy? And now they're like, mira, the big elote,
Mhm.
they like
Yeah,
that French
yeah,
vanilla combination.
yeah,
I'm saying the same thing with
yeah.
Olynyk. Give him some time, man. Like he played on other teams and he was just a role player, but he played his role well. So I
Mhm.
would assume that he's going to do the same thing for the Spurs. Now, I was told by a lot of people that, oh, he's garbage on defense and he's a liability and all that. He's passable and he can go ahead and shoot the ball. I mean, what more do you want out of a role player when you're having a bad game and you can't hit the broadside of a barn? You can't even drop the ball in the ocean, and you get him off the bench, maybe gives you some energy, can knock down a three, can knock down an open jumper. Then all of a sudden you start getting some momentum back, and I think that's what he's going to wind up being. And that's what some of these
Yeah.
bench players are and some of these role players are. They're guys that can give you some of that energy when things start getting stagnant and still. And that's all you can hope for from some of these guys. I think that's what Olynyk gives you. He's going to be one of these guys that's going to be a fan favorite before the end of the season, just like the big elote, because there's going to
Mhm.
be a game or two where Olynyk's going to be like have a block or knock down an open three or knock down an open jumper, and it's a tight game and the Spurs win by one or two, and it was because Olynyk had something to do with that, and then they're going to be mira Olynyk. I said no,
Well,
no, stay gone. You all told me he was garbage.
as Jason alluded to, it's about the depth of the team. But the Spurs are
Yeah.
right now. We're excited as Spurs fans right now, right? 8-2. We said we'd be excited if the Spurs were 6-4 at the end of 10 games, right? Do you realize the Spurs are opening up a 5-game homestand now?
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
next
Yeah.
5 games for the Spurs are at home.
They're
Back-to-back
undefeated at
home
home.
games, back-to-back home games against Golden State, winnable.
Mhm.
A game against Sacramento, winnable. A game against Memphis, and John Morant is just circling the drain over there, winnable. Then a game against the Atlanta Hawks, who will probably be without Trae Young, winnable. Imagine the Spurs being 13-2 after
Wow.
15 games. I think worst case scenario, 11-4.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's the
Joe.
best start in franchise history thus far. The
Joe.
way things are going, but I
Mhm.
mean, but Mike, also look at the next 4 road games after the 5-game home stretch. They have a chance to get back at Phoenix. Then they come up here right before Thanksgiving. Then they're in Denver
Mhm.
and Minnesota. Hopefully, Denver and Minnesota won't deploy those horrible courts that they had for the playing tournament.
The bubblegum one.
Mhm.
Uh, but the bubblegum and then that puke green one that Minnesota had. Holy cow! Did you see the photo of the players before they started the game? Right before the jump ball, you see the players, but you see this green on them, and it's the reflection of that paint from the court. I'm like, come on, NBA, they got to do Denver and Minnesota better.
Well, here's the thing, man. The Spurs right now are going to have that NBA Cup the flooring for the next game against Golden State. A couple of days later, they'll have the regular court out there. So I'm excited to see that brand new court because I thought it was sexy. I mean, I thought that was sexy. And moving on to other topics, though, Nico Harrison appears to be a goner there in Dallas. Months removed from trading Luka Doncic to the LA Lakers. I know they ended up getting the number 1 overall pick in Cooper Flag, but it looks like Nico Harrison is gone. Mira Nico, Joe.
What's his name?
He's gone.
Gone. It's gone.
Here's
But
the-
you knew it
look,
was coming. You knew
here's
it
the-
was coming.
It's so sad for that particular city of Dallas to have Nico Harrison running that team into the ground and get rid of arguably the best player in the NBA right now in Luka Doncic cannot be forgiven for that. And in the meantime, you have Jerry Jones still in his mid 80s running the Dallas Cowboys into the ground. It must suck to be a Dallas fan of all their sports over there. Even the Rangers had a down year. I mean, I know they were average. They're all right. They're all right this year. But you look at it, Nico Harrison, how he held on to that job for so long after the Doncic
Exactly.
trade.
Yeah, I'm surprised to get fired sooner.
The tone deafness that he had afterwards, where he said, "I didn't realize he meant so much to the fan base."
Yeah. What
What
the
a
fuck? Yeah,
dumbass.
exactly. Yeah. And he said something like, "I'm not going to be here to see, all this, the future of this, or something like that." Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's wild. I mean, the dude's a former Nike executive, so like, I'm sure he's a smart dude, but it's just like smart people also make dumb decisions, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's I don't know, man. That's a mind-boggling one.
There's some people who want to put their stamp on something, right? I see this going on with like local media and all that stuff where you have new people come on in and they
Yeah,
want to
of
put their
course.
stamp on it. And
Right.
sometimes the stamp isn't what's needed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just letting people know that,
Hmm.
hey, things are okay the way that they are, right?
Yeah.
Things are okay the way that they
Hmm.
are. I remember back
Yeah.
in the radio days when we had a new management take over, and then all of a sudden everything changed, and all
Hmm.
of the people's stamp wanted to be put on there, and
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
ego. That is just ego, and
Absolutely.
it's
Yes.
that's all that it
Yes.
is. But
I agree.
other news making wind right now is, and I didn't really get too deep into it, but apparently Stephen A. Smith is calling out Michelle Beadle because Beadle went after him the other day.
Yeah, she did.
I don't know if you saw it, but
So
okay, go ahead and go, Joe.
we had a video. Somebody had sent us a shared video with us in regards to this. It was to the effect of Michelle Beadle was talking, and I'm going to share some of the video here if I can get it here up from one of our fans. And basically, she was just talking about her time at ESPN, working with Stephen A. And she wasn't saying anything bad. She was just saying that, you know what, ESPN is in the situation kind of that it got itself in, with Stephen A being the face of that,
Hmm.
organization there, ESPN, because they gave him the too much airtime. He
Yeah.
wanted to do
Kind of put
everything.
all
And
their eggs in one basket, right? Kind of
yeah,
put all
and
their
it's
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
they never asked him, "Hey, we want you to go and work and do first take and then come out here and talk, NBA basketball and then go and talk football and do all this other stuff and
Hmm.
be all everywhere all at once and then do your radio show." And he's all, "Oh, I'm always working. I'm always." Then he gets this thing that people say, "Oh, he's the hardest working man here." He's everywhere. And that's up to the ESPN, and that's basically at the end of the day, he's putting himself in those situations because you know what? He's chasing that almighty dollar. He's a
Hmm.
smart man.
Hmm.
Respect the grind. Respect the grind. He's out there working hard. Like you always say, Mike, if you want to make more money, you got to go out there and get it. And that's what
Right.
he's doing. Respect. But at the end of the day, he just rubbed Beetle the wrong way. Because she said, even on her way out, she had to hear on her last day there as they're trying to give her graceful, exit. And they're like, "Oh, tomorrow we're gonna have on ESPN, you're gonna have Stephen A." And Stephen A clapped back. He came back and he clapped back at Beetle and all the haters for hating on him or what have you. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, who gives a shit?
Well,
I mean,
Well, what
Beadle
did he say though?
well, well,
What
well,
was his retort to that?
well,
Or
Beadle was basically saying that she did not want to share any screen time with him.
yeah, she don't respect him.
And
okay.
basically he's basically trying to just defend himself is basically it.
Hmm.
I don't think you necessarily went too far when it came to it all, but it got me thinking about it all. And there's so much sexism that goes on with sports and broadcasting right now. And it's all, in personal opinion, it's all bullshit. You know, it's like Joy Taylor's out at Fox FS1. Well, it's because she was fucking this guy. No, probably wasn't. Michelle Beatles, probably because she got drunk and went after Aaron Rodgers. Probably didn't happen. You know, uh, Rachel Nichols was a racist. No, she wasn't. You know, it's like every time there's a national female in sports, they gotta get crapped on by dudes who are sitting on their couches with their thumb up their fucking belly button. And it's fucking depressing, dude. taking
I
the
have
lid
the
out.
video.
Okay, if you want to go into that. But one last thing about that real fast, Joe, is that look at the grief that Mina Kimes gets on ESPN, who is a fantastic journalist over there, a fantastic, you know what? She should be running an NFL franchise for
I
crying
ain't
out
gonna
loud.
lie, Mina Kimes kind of cute too, bro. She's my little crush there, bro.
and she's a Mariners fan, and she's also a Seattle Seahawks fan, just like Jason is. But let's hear what Stephen A. Smith, Screaming A. Smith, had to say.
Yeah, and this is courtesy of Clan the Spurs fan. He's a good follow too, man. Go ahead and
Yeah.
check him out. He's been around for a hot minute, man. So let's go ahead and hear the video.
So instead of like, yeah, he doubles down and he does this. If I'm ESPN, like, and I get it. You created this monster. He is bigger than you now. And
Yeah.
that's exactly your fault and
Good
your
job.
fault only. You let him run rampant all over that company and put his face on for everybody who's like, oh, he works so hard. I'm going to let you in on a little behind the scenes. He wants to do that. Nobody's asking him.
Desperate to do
He
it.
shows up. I told everyone I work with, I will never share a set with that person ever, because I don't respect him, and life's too short. Literally the morning of my last day on Get Up, as Greeny was giving me a heartfelt goodbye, and I awkwardly sat there. As I was leaving the set, they started a promo that Stephen A. Smith will be on the show tomorrow. Like, it is him. So let's stop acting like the guy gets worked to death. It's him.
Yeah.
It's Beetle and
There you go.
I mean, I don't think what she said was anything out of pocket, though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. Okay, like she's just saying what she's saying. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was anything like attacking Stephen A. Smith or whatever. Which I mean, it makes sense to me that, like you said, you can't have it both ways. You can't complain about like, oh my God, I'm being overworked. I'm doing all this and that. When that's literally what
that's
his
what he wants.
like. He has to have that. Like, yeah, there's no
Yeah.
like if he's not, if his face isn't everywhere, then he is not. He's nobody, right? Like, so he has to have that to be Stephen A. Smith, right? It's like people that are famous for being famous. It's like a Kardashian. You know what I mean? Like, you can't complain about all the shit you get as a Kardashian, because the only reason you're famous is because you're a Kardashian. Like I don't know.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is he any good at what he does? He's great at publicizing himself, but on sports takes, on anything, I've never seen Stephen A. Smith and thought to myself, God, he's good at what he does.
Right.
Like I never understood his popularity. Now, the dude that goes out there wearing the black wife beater all day, he's actually pretty good at what he does.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Oh, McAfee, the punter. He was a punter, man. He was a
Yeah.
punter in the NFL, which is crazy.
Now, my favorite thing about Pat McAfee, he was the punter who would kick the ball and then go race after the
Yeah.
returner. He
Yeah,
didn't
he's a
sit
big
back.
dude. You know what's?
Yeah,
He's a big guy. It's funny because you see punters and place kickers, and they look kind of small. Obviously, they're around 300-pound guys. Some of those dudes are big dudes. You know what I mean? My son played AAU ball with a guy that his dad was the punter or the kicker for the Giants when they won the championship back in the day, and. This dude's big. Like, I was like, holy shit, this dude's, I was like, this dude's a kicker in the NFL. He looks small on TV. Big dude, so that's, yeah.
Hey,
You
Joe,
know-
Joe, I think earlier we had a super chat coming on. in
Yeah,
from
we did by
Lerma.
Matt Lerma. We'll get to that. But Stephen A. Smith, his rise in popularity is mostly because of the platform that he's on, right? And the airtime that he's gotten. But more importantly, if you try to outshine that brother, what does he do? What's your name going to be? Gone. Gone.
Max Kellerman.
Gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But you know what, though? That's an interesting topic about having like creative control and like behind the scenes control, like with ESPN, and kind of like I'm an old school wrestling fan, right? Like I'm a back in the day wrestling fan. This is what happened whenever they you remember like the NWO, right? Like when like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Jason knows what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The NWO came to
Wolfpack.
WCW.
Sorry, I'm Wolfpack.
Okay, well, yeah, for sure. But no, you remember like Hulk Hogan and all that, right? When like WCW was a company that never turned a profit. Like, right? If you know about old school wrestling, like WWF, I call it WWF still, but WWE, whatever. back in the 80s and 90s was, the place to be. WCW was always little brother, right? They were always trying to, and then Ted Turner bought them, and Eric Bischoff, really smart guy, turned that company around. But they never earned a profit. And I'm going to get to the point. When they did the WCW, or I'm sorry, the NWO angle where Razor Ramon and Diesel were Scott Hall and Kevin Nash
Hulk
that came
Hogan.
over, and
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan and all that. It was a big thing, and it was like a badass boom, and it was crazy, and they finally turned a profit, and the Monday Night Wars, Nitro finally beat fucking the Raw and the ratings, right? And all this great stuff, right? But what happened behind the scenes was Hogan, Nash, Hall, they all had creative control of their characters, right? Like they like WCW sold their soul to the devil, kind of like a Stephen A. Smith thing where they had control. So they like alienated everybody else in the locker room. Like no one else could beat the NWO. You know what I mean? Like every story was NWO, NWO. Like no one can do anything, and it ended up crippling the company. It ended up crippling WCW and WWE. Vince McMahon bought WCW when it was all said and done. So they had a short run that was amazing, but ultimately it killed them. So this kind of reminds me of that, of the Stephen A. Smith ESPN thing.
Yeah. Stephen A.
So,
Smith,
Mark-
is an entertainer at the end of the day. Is he good at his job? Probably not. But is he entertaining? Absolutely. And that's why people tune in. People don't necessarily tune in for the analysis. They tune in for the shenanigans, much like they do with us,
Mhm.
right? They tune
Yeah.
in and they know what they're getting with us. They're shenanigans.
Yeah, he's
You
just
know, we're
getting the
puro.
craziness. Yeah,
We're one of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
one of the
Which
people. That's why they tune in.
I can't disrespect the hustle. I
You know?
get it, but yeah, you
I mean,
just gotta know what you're getting into, right? With Stephen A. I
I
guess.
respect the hustle, but what Michelle Beadle's saying that Stephen A. Smith became bigger than ESPN, that is the issue, because then it becomes one
Sure.
of those things where it's just ridiculous the amount of times that we see him.
Yeah.
On the flip side, we're going to talk about the NFL. We had a big game on Monday Night Football last night. The Eagles eke out a victory against the Green Bay Packers.
Defensive struggle.
You know what? The Thursday night game,
Yeah,
10-7. The Monday night
Yeah.
game, 10-7. Let's talk
We
about
are
the
low
NFL.
on points over here, man. We are low on points.
Let's give some love first to PF Chang's La Cantera. I can see that Joe has the hat.
Of course.
And we're going to have a giveaway, by the way, that I'm going to announce
Yeah,
a little bit later after on the
we
flip
love
side.
we
Give
love
some love to
giveaways.
PF
We
Chang's.
love giveaways. We love giveaways.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
PF Chang's La Cantera not only sponsors our show, but they power our super chats and whatnot going on the side of the show. Thank you to all the people who take part in our daily chat. But again, they have happy hour from 3 to 6. Tomorrow is Wednesday Wines Day, which means half off bottles of champagne, half off bottles of wine. Again, it's a fantastic place to go have lunch, fantastic place to go have dinner. And if you have a party that in mind, the graduation party, holiday party, Christmas party's coming up, you need a place to go.
Wedding.
Yeah.
Wedding receptions. PF
I'm
Chang's
telling
La
you.
Cantera.
Next
They do a
time
good
I'm in
job.
San Antonio, I am not gonna miss the Wine Wednesday.
That's
I
the
have
move.
to go there. I'll be
That's
honest,
the
I
move.
haven't been there, and I love it. We all know it, so that's right up my alley. Sean Quintero. Next time, I promise you, man, I am going to there. I gotta
Hey,
be there, bro. I gotta do it.
You
I
show
gotta
up,
do it.
and you want to
Yeah.
go there. I got the first hundy, man, and drinks, bro. I
Hey,
got you, bro.
let's. I'm telling you,
Hey,
man, we'll do it up, bro. We'll do it
Well,
up.
Well,
Let
very
me know,
nice.
Rick. I'll join you.
Yes, sir.
Very,
Exactly.
very nice. Speaking of hundies, we have a listener, a viewer of the show who does not take part in the chat, who is wanting to donate some HEB gift cards.
Damn.
That's
to a
awesome.
listener.
That's awesome.
dude.
Just in time for Thanksgiving, just in time for Christmas. So I don't know if this should be like a raffle or of hey man, if somebody needs a little bit of help because of one thing or another,
Yeah.
we have two $100 gift cards that we'll give away between now and Christmas.
That's awesome.
That are,
Nice.
Yeah.
that are
Get some
lined up as well.
Thanksgiving dinner. Get a little Thanksgiving dinner going,
Yeah,
and then a
man.
Christmas dinner. Yeah. yeah.
Very, very nice. Well, I'll talk to Jason about the
Gracious. Thank you for that.
I want to talk to Jason about the NFL because interesting thing about last night, before the game started, this is how big that tie was between the Cowboys and the Packers, coming back to haunt the Green Bay Packers. Before last night's game, Packers lose that game 10-7 in Lambeau to the Eagles. Before the game last night, the Packers were the number 2 seed in the NFC. With that loss, they dropped to number 7 because that tie is sticking out there.
Yep.
Right now, on top of the NFC is the Eagles at are they 8-2, 7-2? Then you've got
7-2.
you got a 7-2 Eagles team, a 7-2 Seattle Seahawks team that's there. And it's so funny that you look at it and I mean, are the Eagles really the favorite to go back to the Super Bowl? They controlled their own destiny to get all the way through. It's going to run through Lincoln Financial Field more than likely. I think Seattle's a better team than Philadelphia. I think Detroit has a higher upside than Philadelphia. I think Tampa has a more dynamic quarterback than Philadelphia. I think Stafford's a better quarterback than Hurts at this point right now, and they're the 5 seed. It's just so weird, the NFC, that there's absolutely no favorite. You can make an argument on any of the 5 teams on the top of making it to the Super Bowl, because I don't see the Bears doing it. I don't see the Packers, and I don't see the
I hate
Niners.
to say this, man, but Philly just finds a way to win.
They're
Somehow,
gross.
some way. I know it's ridiculous, man. Like they find a way to win. Remember,
They're
was it
that
the
hood
Rams
cockroach,
game?
Rick. They're that hood cockroach.
That Rams game, they were down big. They were down big time, and they find a way to effing win. I don't know.
Joe, let me show you this. And Fernandez, just to echo your point, right? What determines a good team from another team more than likely is point differential. How many points did you score versus how many points the other team scored? 7-2. The Seattle Seahawks have a point differential of 103. They have outscored their opponents by 103 points. The Eagles are also 7-2, have the tiebreaker as of right now. Again,
What is it?
Plus 103 for the Eagles, for the Seahawks. For the Eagles, plus 26.
Wow. I believe it. But just like Vin Diesel said, winning's winning. He said it don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, right?
Gotta get that win.
Well,
Because
Mike,
still counts.
Here.
If you look at if you just go by points differential, you got Seattle, then you got the Rams at plus 98, and then the Lions at plus 83. Now, eventually, you are going to have to score. But the one thing about Philly and Seattle, which I see that they have in common, is that they have a good O-line, and unlike the past Seattle teams, the Seattle defense, it's the D-line. And Murray, the second from Texas, I mean, he's starting to make a big impact. I mean, he's at least getting at least 2.5 sacks a game. And he's just love pass rushing the QB at every single chance he gets.
The funny thing about the Eagles, there's only been one game by which they have won by more than one score.
Yeah.
Giants. They also lost to the Giants by 17.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. But Jason, you are a Seahawks fan. Okay, you're one of the few Seahawks fans that I know. I mean, how excited are you watching that team? And can you really believe in the quarterback? Because the quarterback wet the bed in the playoffs last year for the Vikings. I mean, are they really that good? Because what are we missing over here? We don't get those games.
So like I said, Seattle's defense, the D-line, everyone's saying that this is the Legion of Boom 2.0. It's not. The Legion of Boom had a good secondary. It's the D-line that's really sticking out. That they can get pressure, that they can contain a mobile quarterback. Sam Darnold, he's doing an outstanding job. Every now and then, he's been known to throw that one interception, but he's been getting the ball out pretty quick. He'll hold it maybe like about 2.5 seconds at most, and the ball is out. His favorite wide receiver is number 11, Jackson Smith, and I'm not going to try to say his name because I might say it wrong.
Njigba.
Yes, it's JSN as we call him up here. But then you also got the tight ends as well. They're going out there making blocks, and every now and then getting those little easy passes. But it's the running game that between Charbonnet and K9, Walker III, that Seattle is constantly pounding the ball. You got your both running backs, they'll bring it for like 20 yards. and this is like maybe third or fourth quarter. Now, the one thing that I will bring up is that Seattle does have to face the Rams twice, and their next game is going to be hosting the Rams. Then one of the last few games that they have to play is in LA, and then they go to San Fran in the season. So those two last games against the Rams and the Niners on the road might determine who wins the West out here. So, like I said, Seattle's pretty sneaky, and I'm hoping that they keep up this momentum. But the one thing that I am worried about is that if you look at their road record, they're outstanding. But the moment that you bring them home, yeah, they're not that good. So that's why I'm worried about. Is like, okay, you win the division, you have you play a wild card game at home. Are y'all gonna lose that game and be knocked out?
It's all about home field advantage in the NFL, man. That goes a long, long way, which is why you look at teams like the Chiefs right now, you look at teams like the Bills right now, who are not leading their division, would have to go on the road. I know they have the experience, but again, home cooking is home cooking. Interesting to see the Seahawks last week get Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints. They traded a 4th and 5th rounder for him. I think it was a good trade for both teams. You know, the Saints are bottoming out right now on purpose, basically, to make it happen. But they're picking up the draft capital, the 4th and 5th rounder. Now you have a trio of receivers there in Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, and now you have Rashid Shaheed who can take the cover off. And you haven't seen him play. I don't know if you've ever seen Rashid Shaheed play. Dude, just let him fly. Let him fly. He'll go for a 50-yarder in a heartbeat. Just fly route down the field. Just tell him to go deep. And because of that deep threat,
that's what you said.
It opened. It's, you know, he goes so deep, it puts the DB's ass to sleep, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, it's so cool to watch, man. And then on the AFC side, the Broncos, again, ugly win, 10-7 over the Raiders on Thursday night. All they do is win.
We can't hear you, Rick. There's no audio,
Rick.
bro.
Hey, Rick, you're on mute. Hey, I can hear the bottle pouring. Hey, speaking of the AFC, let me ask y'all this. Indianapolis, Denver, New England. When was the last time we heard those three teams at least in the top, not the top three, but at least the top 4 or 5?
Well, when you had Peyton,
I tried to tell people. I told y'all in the beginning of the season, I said, the Patriots were my dark horse team, man. I said, you got to watch out for them. And now look at them, 8-2.
Well, isn't that great? I mean, that just shows you how good of a franchise they are. I know it took 4 or 5 years. It's kind of like the Spurs. The Spurs got, Kawhi leaves in 2017. They have a couple of years there where they still made the playoffs, and they had to bottom out for 5 years and then kind of resurrect themselves. You see, Brady goes to the Buccaneers, wins a chip over there. Belichick leaves New England. Then they resurrect themselves 4 or 5 years later with Drake May. The same thing goes with Indianapolis, who would have thought that Andrew Luck was going to retire at the age of 29. Now they get Danny Dimes, to get Jonathan Taylor and all these guys, and now they have a positive, Tyler Warren. They have a positive outlook for them. I know they got criticized for going after a big trade and going after a big DB at the trade deadline. I understand giving up a first rounder or multiple for it. That was a risk, but you know what? You know what they're doing, Joe? They're putting their chips in the middle of the table. Like, this is our moment. The Bills don't have home field advantage. The Chiefs don't have home field advantage. Who does? The Colts. So the Colts are pulling off trades to make that happen.
And then you see Jones, man.
Then you see the Broncos, who fell off the face of the earth after a while. Now they get resurrected by who? Sean Payton, former Saints head coach.
You know what,
Those
man?
are
I
good
like
organizations.
I like him as a head coach, dude. He ain't afraid to say what needs to be said and gets done what needs to get done. He cleaned house. Who did he get rid of?
Russell Wilson's gone.
Gone.
Did you ever see that interview with Reggie Bush where he talks about the first time he met Sean Payton?
No.
Sean Payton, the Saints drafted Reggie Bush number 2 overall in the draft several years ago. And Reggie Bush had made it be clear that he did not want to play in New Orleans. So he and his people told them that it wasn't going to happen, whatever. And they drafted him anyway. And Sean Payton calls Reggie Bush And Bush says, I don't want to play there, blah, blah, blah. And Sean Payton went off on him and said, you get your MFing ass over there now. We're not trading you. We're not getting rid of you. You are a Saint. Get your ass to camp. And that Reggie Bush was like, I'm not going to mess with that guy. like Sean Payton will pull a Suge Knight in a heartbeat. He's a dick.
I like it.
And again, he was also, what's it called, going after the coaches, going after the players rather, Bounty Gate, all that stuff.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Joe? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, all right,
Yeah. Hey, so
hey, we know what? We got to get to the super chat real quick because we've been putting it off for some time.
Yeah.
And Matt Lerma did give us a super chat. I don't have any of the other bells and whistles today because like I said, I joined the stream late. So here we go. Matt Lerma, thank you for the $2 super chat. We appreciate you, man. He says, be a man, sign the Wemby apology form. Never.
No, say it like this. Say it in his voice. Say it in the
Matt
voice.
Oh, okay. You want me to do that for $2, bro? Come on, man. I'll do it just because we got to it late. He says, be a man, sign the Wemby apology form, Joe.
Victor
Dude, that
Wembanyama
voice kills me. That voice always kills me.
Victor
Hey, man,
Wembanyama.
everybody loves that Matt Lerma voice, bro. It's like, damn. I don't know how I came up with it. Like I said, I just did it on the fly one day, and it just stuck, and everybody's like, do the voice, do the voice.
Do the voice, do the voice, do the roar, do the roar.
They were telling me too. They were saying, I think it was Rob was saying he would put down 100. Oh, here it is. He says, I'll give another 100. And if number 20 games late, Joe signs the apology form right now. Nah, bro. I'm good.
You won't do it for the people, Joe? Not
Nah,
for the
man.
people?
You know what? I keep 100 right in the back of my wallet right here. I had to cut one of these, man. I had to break one out the other day, yesterday.
Okay.
Mike's always telling me, right? You always tell me, man, having money's a waste of time, bro. You never have money.
Chica loves cash. She loves cash, right? And don't be wrong, she uses her debit card, credit card, all that stuff. She loves cash though, and she'll keep money around all over the place, but she hides it all over the truck. So it's funny because I'll be opening up the compartment in the truck, and I'll find a 20 in there. And then I'll put up my sunglasses, and I'll find a 20 in there. She just hides 20s all over the truck. It's in the glove compartment.
I never have cash, bro. I don't have any cash on me, dude. I never have cash on me.
We went to a parking garage. And I was like, oh my God, I need $20. And she goes, just look around the truck.
There you go. Yeah.
I looked around the truck, and there it was.
I always look around, dude. Like I went and I used the money, right? Because I need to put gas in my car. And I was at the Valero near my house. And of course, the network wasn't working or whatever. So like, we can't use card. So I'm like, man, I got 100 right here on the money clip that I just keep here, So I'm like, I'm going to bust it out today, finally use it. So I go and I put like $30 of gas because I don't really drive my caddy around a lot, right? I mean, I work from home. So I was like, when I fill it up, I'll put like 30 because I want to fill it up because I'm going to have to put gas in it for a little bit. So I go and I pay $30, whatever, man. And then I'm seeing the lady and she's pulling out 10s and 5s and she gives me a couple 1s. And I'm like, man, I ain't going to be able to put that back on the money clip. I got like $70 back. What am I going to do with it, bro?
Well,
I mean, I just put it in the secret compartment in the caddy and just lock it away, but it's there in case I need it again. I put like maybe I have $30 on the back of my freaking money clip right now. I feel poor, Mike. I need to change it for 100.
Yeah. So Joe, it's funny because over here in Conroe, the gas stations get very competitive for cash. Like it's a 20, 30, 40 cent difference in price if you pay in cash. I went to this one place the other day, $2.39 if you use your card, $1.99 if it was cash.
Oh my God, bro.
That is crazy.
I can't. What's gas over there in when you're neck of the woods, Jason?
Right now it's averaging about 380. But I love going to Costco because it's cheaper. So
Oh no. I go on base. Like I get annoyed if I don't put gas on base. But out here in Cali, bro, we're at like $5 and plus, right? In Cali.
Wow.
But on base it's like 430, 420, which that's cheap, bro. Here 415 is cheap here in Cali. So I go on base and put gas, kind of like Costco probably. So it's cheaper, but bro, $5 out in town. Like out of base here in Cali, bro, $5. I saw a place $5.99 the other day.
Joe.
Ooh.
$5.99, bro. Crazy, bro.
Fernandez, Rick, man, I went out and I had 30 gallons of gas for my truck. I was down to $58 the other day, man.
For your big ass truck? Shit, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's
By the way,
crazy.
it is Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Jason Fernandez. TMZ has an article right now saying, "Did you realize that these actors were former military?" So tell me if you knew this. You know the actor Adam Driver, Marine.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
what that
he was
is.
former
Yeah,
military.
Marine.
Yeah, yeah.
He was what was he in those Star Wars movies?
Oh, Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood was in the Army.
Mhm.
Did you know that B. Arthur of the Golden Girls was a former Marine?
I do know that. That I do know. Yeah.
Chuck Norris. What branch
Chuck
of the military
Norris.
what was he in?
I have no
In the
idea.
Army?
What do you
Thought he
guys
was
say?
Army.
No idea. I have no idea.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Air
Yeah,
Force.
yeah.
Hey.
Bob Barker was in the Navy.
Bob Barker.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
all right.
Johnny
Drew
Carson
Carey?
was in the Navy. Mr. T
Yeah.
was in the Army.
Yeah.
Did you know that Drew Carey was a Marine?
Yes, I did know
Yeah.
that. Drew Carey was
Really?
a
I knew
Marine.
that.
Yeah, yes.
John F. Kennedy served in the Navy.
Yeah.
The singer
Right.
John Fogerty was in the Army.
You know who's a famous Marine? Rob Riggle.
Oh, dude,
Really?
I love
Rob
Rob Riggle.
Riggle?
Yeah,
He
you
Rob
was
Riggle.
Riggle. Bro, I met him in Vegas. He's so fucking cool. He's
Yeah.
so awesome. And I met him at like a military kind of event. And I told him like my story about like, oh, I was I was a Marine and I became an officer and I did all this and that. And it was like a bowling alley. And he was like, that's a badass story. That's so cool. He is really
Yeah.
cool. Rob
He's-
Riggle is really cool. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Lieutenant Colonel, by the way. He was in 05.
Yeah, he's a high ranking
He-
fucking officer. Yeah,
He
yeah.
went
yeah.
home. I mean, that guy who's the comedian in all these movies. Who
Yes,
I
yes.
remember him in The Hangover being,
Yeah.
when he's
Oh,
telling the
in
guy
the
to taser
face, in the face,
yeah.
in the face, yeah.
Which, by the way,
Hey,
you-
wasn't
you-
Elvis in the army or something like that too?
Yeah.
Yes,
Elvis,
yes,
yeah.
yes. I
He
think he got like
was. Yeah,
discharged or
the
something like that,
Vietnam
right? But
era.
yeah.
You talking
Yeah.
about meeting a fellow Marine? It reminded me when I met Stu Gotts from the
Yeah,
Delmatron Stu Gotts show.
yeah,
When,
yeah.
when they get really interested in what you're talking about. Mel Brooks, the comedian, was in the Army. Tom Selleck was a Coast Guard. You know, funny thing about Tom Selleck, dude, Magnum PI was a hell of a show, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
was
fucking
a
stash. That stash, bro. You know?
I told Chica the other day we went someplace swimming and she was like floating, and I was holding her while she was floating, and I was like meet up my Tom Selleck Magnum PI moment because that
God.
scene in the opening credits.
You had the
Uh,
shirt open with some of the taco meat coming out of you right there at the top. The gold
Hey,
chain.
dude, I'm the lowest I've been in like 4 years right now, dude. My food poisoning weight loss is still gone. Sinbad, the comedian, was in the Air Force.
Yes, yeah, I heard that. I heard
Jimmy
that. yeah.
Stewart was in the Air Force. What was Hugh Hefner in?
Ooh, Army,
You.
He was an Army.
Army
Hmm.
guy.
Pat
Yeah,
Tillman,
yeah.
Army. Let's see here. Jimi Hendrix.
I didn't know that one. I'll be honest, I didn't know that one.
He
I'll
was
say
in the
Navy.
He was in the Army.
Oh, wow.
Montel Williams was in the Navy.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Ice-T, rapper Ice-T.
Yeah,
Army.
yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that one.
Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps. He was a Marine.
Damn, bro.
Hey, you know
Well-
what? I love him in Blow. You remember the movie Blow? You ever seen the movie
remember that,
Blow?
man.
Yeah.
With
I like
Johnny
doing that
Depp,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a badass movie, actually. Yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
Newman was in the Navy. MC Hammer was in the Navy.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas was in the Navy.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones was in the Army. Clark Gable in the Army. Elvis in the Army. Bill Cosby was in the Navy. You know, Pat Sajak of Wheel of Fortune fame was in the Army.
Damn.
George Carlin was in the Air Force. So for someone who was counterculture, he was in the Air Force.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then
exactly. Yeah.
One
yeah,
last
yeah.
one. We mentioned that Johnny Carson was in the military. So was his co-host Ed McMahon, who was a former Marine.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Salute all the veterans, man. I appreciate everybody who has served and continues to serve. You know, our country's in good hands with these young Marines, sailors, airmen, and soldiers. They're, you know,
Yeah.
they're these young folks. They're different because they think a lot more. You know what I mean? They're different than
Yeah.
the way we came up. So shout out to the young ones that are coming up.
I
And
wanna
thank
give
you
a
to
shout out to
Fernandez.
Shout
Okay.
out to my son-in-law, man.
Appreciate
my
that. Appreciate
new
that.
son-in-law, dude. He's in the Air Force. He's a fireman. He's over there stationed in Pensacola. So shout out to him too, man,
Yeah.
for being
yeah.
a first responder, man, and doing what he does. And shout out to Jason and Fernandez, man. Thank you all so much for your service. You know,
Yeah, man. It was
Jason,
my
you got-
pleasure. It was my pleasure.
Jason, got any shout outs for Veterans Day?
Just shout out to everyone that I've served with. Real quick, shout out to my cousin Maria, and also shout out to all the Necios who are fortunately not doing anything right now since SAFC choked it away in the playoffs this past weekend. Hey, but real quick, since you mentioned JFK, he was a PT boat captain, and if I read it correctly, he also was the one that went into the Philippines and pulled out the general that was there, MacArthur.
Oh wow.
Yeah, during World War II. So if you get a chance to, just look up what the crazy stories about all the PT boats and what they did during World War II. And man,
Yeah,
that
that's
was crazy.
Not
crazy,
not to
yeah.
get not to get into politics or whether you liked him or didn't like him or whatever, but George Bush Senior, Bush 41.
Oh yeah.
If you go to
senior? Oh yeah.
if you go to the Lexington, he was rescued by the Lexington, and if you see his entire life about how he was just basically bobbing in the water and he was being rescued by the Lexington
Yeah.
during World War II, and all he did to
Yeah.
run the CIA and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Very fascinating life that guy
Oh
lived.
yeah. Hey, same thing like John McCain. John McCain was a POW in Vietnam. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man.
Like that's fucking crazy. Like that's insane. You know, being a POW for a while. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, man. I think about and it's funny because I used to tell my Marines, I would tell them stories about, because my last 10 years was finance, right? It's an office
Yeah.
job. Everybody just thinks like, oh, like I'm just doing office work. Like at the end of the day, like Marines are all trained for combat, like no matter what your job is, whether you're infantry, whether you're tanks, whether you're administration, whatever, you're trained for combat. So I would tell my Marines, I was like, look, when I was in tanks in 03, 04, 05 in Fallujah, like we had dispersers, we had money people came with us because we got to get paid. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they came with us. They came with us and they rode on the Humvees. They rode, you know what I mean? They went out on patrols. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, just because you have an office job doesn't mean that one
You're in the
day
office.
you could get called. Yeah, like you could
Yeah.
get called, But I would tell them these stories about like you hear about like Vietnam and now Fallujah is it sounds like it's in history books. Like I never felt so old until I met a young Marine and I told him I was in Fallujah. And they were like, I read about that in school. And I was like, God damn, like, you don't gotta say it like that, like holy shit, But what I was telling them, but it's like what is that? It's like 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon or whatever, where you
7
try
degrees
to
of
match
separation.
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah, okay. I told him it's the same thing. I go, listen. I said, you're a brand new Marine in 18, 2020, 2021, whatever, right? And I'm telling you stories. My superiors were Desert Storm vets, right? My gunny when I was in Iraq was a private in Desert Storm, and then the people he learned from was from Vietnam. You know what I mean? And like the people that they probably learned from for Korean War. So it's only like 5 steps, between the like Korean War in the 1950s to Vietnam, Desert Storm, me, and you. You know what I mean? Like that's it's not you're part of a lineage. You're not something that's just, oh, that's in history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a book. Like you're connected through those 5 little. I just showed you in 5 steps how you're connected to somebody in Korean War 1950.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, when I was active duty, then I went reserves. I had the opportunity to go to Sicily, and because I'm a big history buff, I know I like learning about that, and it finally hit me like after the second or third day I was there that I'm standing on the island that my grandfather stood on when he was in the army and served under General Joseph Patton. And I asked him like what did you think of the general? And he said this, and I'm part of my language, but I hate that son of a bitch, but I love him. And
Yeah.
he pushed his troops to do things that I mean, for me personally, I don't think if it wasn't for Patton, with the World War II might have still been going on. But
Right. Yeah.
And then Patton died like in a car accident that was very, very
Right? I
controversial,
know. That's
like a 15-mile-per-hour car accident.
yeah,
Nothing
yeah. Shout
suspicious
out,
about that.
yeah. Shout out to Eason One. I'm sorry, they're talking about their pops did 20 years in the army, and
Yeah.
shout out to all the veterans. So appreciate you. SR Money 21 or 2001 makes a comment about Prescott Bush did business with the Nazis, and John McCain had some like scandals in the 80s. Listen, there's no great men in history that don't have dirt and scandal on them. There's
Yeah.
not I'm being honest. SR21 is trying to throw shade to Bush, and he said he's with the Nazis and McCain, whatever. There's not a man, JFK, anybody, bro. JFK had Marilyn Monroe as a side piece. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like, come on, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
truly believe that, and I'm not saying it's right, but how do I say this? Like, great men in history that do these things, do you think they're like sitting at home, like simping over their girl, like, yes, baby? No, of course not. Like, why do you think they have this like moxie about them to do like great things in history? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like every great man in history probably has a dark side to them. Probably.
So you're
They
saying
do.
that Marilyn Monroe was greater than Monica Lewinsky? Are we sure about this? Are we sure about
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
under the
yeah.
cabinet of the
Right.
president.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Someone asked, I think it was Tony Ornelas asking the question, did Joe and I try to ever join the military? The closest I ever got to military was two things. Once I served with USAA, so I worked with military members for 2.5 years doing their finances, and I say that
Yeah.
a little jokingly. I actually went into recruiter station several times back in 2001 to join the Air Force, but that was the only branch I wanted to go into,
Yeah.
and I had a degree. Oddly enough, my degree is in terrorism, but this was before 9/11, and I asked if I could join as an officer, and they told me no. They said
That's
if I w-
crazy.
they said
That's
if I
insane. You have a degree, you should be able to go straight as an officer. That's insane.
they said if I wasn't a flyer, if I wasn't in the medical field, a doctor, a nurse, or anything like that,
Wow.
they said that they would happily take me as an enlisted person,
Enlisted. Yeah, yeah.
and
You should
they
have went. That was who was that? I'm sorry. Air Force or who was that?
Air Force, yeah,
Air
it was.
Force. You should have went to the Marine recruiter because that motherfucker would have took you in a heartbeat. That motherfucker would have been like, "Come here." Would have been like, "Here's a cup of coffee. Like, what do you want?" Like, shit. A
Yeah.
Marine recruiter would have been like, "Bro,
It
you
was
got a degree? Shit, bro. There's not a lot of people that walk in Marine recruiting stations with degrees. I'm just no
it,
shade. I'm just saying. I'm being
yeah,
honest. Like,
it was a recruiting office in Corpus Christi, Texas, that happened.
Yeah. No, when I was in high school, I did like 3 years in ROTC, or
Mhm.
4 years, and I was 4 years in ROTC. I was a squad leader. I was part of the army there because it was the army ROTC. We had that little gold star, so you had to like be in, come correct because you had all the enlisted people that would come and do the inspections and all that. I still
yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah,
shiny
yeah,
buckles,
yeah, yeah,
shining shoes, having to have all my gear all lined up straight and everything ready for
yeah.
inspection, all that kind of stuff. Have to wear the little green beret hat that they gave us with the little insignia on the side,
Yeah,
ROTC
yeah,
every
yeah.
Wednesday, bro. I did. I liked it. I liked the structure. I liked the conformity. That everybody had there.
Working for something bigger than themselves. I'm going to change
Audio real quick. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, you're good. You're
That
good.
I was good at though, and I was recruited by all the branches. Is I had a ton of medals, dude. When it came to freaking shooting, I could shoot like nobody's business, dude. When I would wear my dress suit, you know how you have to
Yeah.
put on
The shooting badges and all that. Yeah,
shooting
yeah.
badges like
Yeah, yeah,
crazy, dude, all
yeah.
over on my jacket. I had these little ribbons and stuff, things that I used to volunteer for and do at the school, and all these other things in the community and whatnot. So yeah, man. I mean, if I hadn't gone in the trajectory I had with IT, which it was still working for the government, and I was first job, like I said, I was at 16. I went straight to work at Security Hill and Kelly Air Force Base. Never looked back. you know, they saw that I was gifted, I guess, when it came to IT, and I got trained by the government. All my education is because of the government.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. But I could have easily maybe gone on and done something else if I had wanted. But it was just, my life went into a different direction with the IT field.
Yeah, and props to Chica's dad, who's passed away when she was in her early 20s, Vietnam vet as well. All our loved ones out there. And Joe, thank you for what you do now, Joe, with
Yeah.
Homeland Security and things like that. I mean,
Joe
doing
does
your
some
part.
Joe does some secret squirrel stuff, man. You know.
Hey, I might soon be getting my wings here, dude. I might be getting a drone, being able to be a
Yeah,
drone pilot here pretty
that'd be
soon. So
cool.
we'll see, bro.
That'd be cool. No, you
Very
know
nice.
what's funny, Mike, about like you talking about Chica's, what you said, father, right? Or
Yeah,
grandfather,
yeah.
father,
No,
father?
her dad.
Yeah. Vietnam vet. Yeah. Dude, I love talking to like those old Vietnam vets or like those old school Desert
They
Storm
saw some.
vets.
They
Like,
saw some
bro,
shit,
oh
dude.
my
They
God,
saw.
bro. Like when I literally, I've been to like a VFW and like I'll sit there and talk to like an old school vet and I'm just like, wow. Like I'm just, I'm enthralled with what they have to say. Like it's crazy, bro. It's so crazy. And, and yeah, I went to Iraq a couple of times and all that, but like, I mean, they went through to me is like 10 times worse, 100 times worse. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. And then they came back. Here's the thing. When we went to Iraq, like we came back and we were fucking heroes. Like everybody loved us, bro. Like they just loved us, and it was fucking amazing when we got back from Iraq. Can you imagine coming back from Vietnam and getting like spit on and getting told like
Yeah.
you're a baby killer? Like, bro, after you went through, like, I just can't fathom that. Like, I cannot
Mhm.
fathom coming back to your own country and get shit on by
Yeah.
people that you defended
Yeah.
by doing your fucking job as a Marine or as a Air Force or as Navy, as Army, whatever you are. That's crazy to me. Like that's one thing I will say. When I came back from Iraq, bro, we were fucking treated like gods, dude. We were
Yeah.
heroes when we came back from Iraq. Like
Yeah.
it
No
was
one. No,
crazy.
no one shits on somebody like the federal government, man.
Yeah,
9/11 first responders got shit on by the federal government.
yeah.
The Vietnam vets got shit on by the federal government as well,
Oh
man. They
man,
did
that's why
not
I
get
have so much
taken care of.
respect for Vietnam vets. Yeah, they didn't get that, bro. Because that's like when you get back, man. Like you went through what you went through, and like fuck, man. Not that you need any kind of pat on the back, but goddamn, man, you at least want appreciation for like what you did,
Yeah.
for this fucking
Mhm.
country, for people who don't want to get off their ass, like they are fighting for you to have an opinion. Like that's what's ironic. And I always tell people this because I've had some conversation with people like on Twitter or different people who are like anti-military or whatever, and that's fine. And they're just like shitting on the military, and they're like, like they don't give a fuck that you're a Marine, and they don't give a fuck that you went to Iraq, and none of that. And they like you ain't shit and all that. Okay, cool, bet. I'm like, you know what's funny and ironic? We go to war so you can have
You
that
can say
opinion.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like we are literally fighting so you can have that opinion. That's why I don't get into these conversations with people because I'm like, you know what? You're welcome. Like your shitty attitude. We are fighting for you to have a freedom to have that shitty
An
attitude.
opinion.
Like
Do, do you
Yeah.
know?
right,
Do you
Jason?
know? You know my favorite
Right,
thing to
Jason?
do.
Jason knows what I'm talking about. Like,
One of
Yeah.
my favorite things to do is to go to a casino or someplace and you see the old guy in the wheelchair, Vietnam vet, World War II. By the way, props to the Spurs for bringing out the World War II vets the other day.
that was cool.
Ages
That was cool.
98,
Yeah,
100, and
yeah.
105.
Oh
But
my God. Yeah.
when they wear that hat, I go up to every single one of them and I thank them for their service. Jason, you mentioned the VFW. Man, ain't no party like a VFW party, baby. Because the VFW party don't
Yeah,
stop.
Yeah.
yeah, I would say this. Yeah, the VFWs throw the second greatest party. The first greatest party is, of course, the Marine Corps ball. And I heard that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you go out
Yes.
there drinking with the Marine, and if
Oh
you go
man.
home, just know you got home safely. Just don't ask how you got home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Jason, tell us about your experience in the military, man. What was that like?
well, see my experience because unlike Rick, I went the hard way. I went the peasant way. I went enlisted.
I did go
Uh,
enlisted. I
huh?
went enlisted, and then I crossed over. I was enlisted for 10 years.
Yeah, man, you
And then I
crossed.
became an
You crossed
officer.
over.
I
You
crossed. I
crossed
became
over
an. I
though.
was enlisted.
You crossed over.
I know, but I was originally enlisted. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, but I did 13 years active duty, and then I was forced into the reserves. Most of my time was spent overseas. Everyone says that, especially Sam Salinas, he brings up 9/11. I didn't have a 9/11. I had a 9/12 because being overseas, 15 hours ahead, is like just like midnight, 1 o'clock,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden we have to get ready. We go into battle station. Like, why are we going into battle stations when we're in port? We're in our home port. Then we find out what's going on, and that was the longest 24 hours that I had. Coming back over here, to Texas and doing reserves. I did reserves in San Antonio, Omaha, and Fort Worth, and just being out in town and every now and then, you're wearing a uniform. You get people that come up to you and say, "Thank you for your service. We appreciate what you do." But and like Rick says, every now and then you get that one person that says, "Why don't you do something better with their life?"
Yeah.
And I says, "Well, this is my choice." When I came up here to Portland, I ran into somebody that I didn't know who they were. I actually bumped into them, said I'm sorry, and maybe they were having a bad day, and they said, "Why don't you do something better with your life?" And I looked at them and says, "Ma'am, I did 20 years. I did 20 years so you can have your freedom." And I didn't want to hear it from her. I just walked away. I'm like, just leave it alone, because I'm going to say something to her, and I'm going
Oh
to bring
yeah.
out that
Oh,
man.
you're gonna yeah. You're gonna say
Resist.
something. You're really gonna say what you
Mhm.
feel. Yeah. You're gonna say what you're thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, but like Rick said, I mean, there's people that are going to be out here that they're going to thank us, or they're going to say something bad about us. And for me, I it's like, if someone says thank you for your service, what, I'm okay with that. But if I hear somebody else in the vicinity talking bad about a veteran, whether they're older or younger than me, I'm going to go ahead and step in and defend my fellow veteran. And I don't care if they're Marines, Army, Coast Guard, Air
Mhm.
Force. I'm going to go in there and says,
Yeah.
"Hey, that's my brother. That's my sister. Just know that they have a lot of us. You keep talking this way, next thing you know, you're surrounded. And you're going to be like, and next thing you know, and it's not 1-on-1, it's 50-on-1,
Mhm.
and just
Yeah.
bring it."
Now, Fernandez would like the fact that if he went to Chica's mom's house, they have like a big old display, because you saw that I was in South Carolina for
Yeah.
the
Yep. For the
Marine
graduation, right? Yeah.
graduation
Yeah.
ceremony,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
There's a lot of Marines in Chica's family, and they
I
get
love it.
prominently displayed, right?
I love it.
The one
Yeah.
who joined the Army, do you think there are photos up there with all the Marines? It's
Did
like
they
on a
got the little
shelf.
tiny little spot over
Yeah,
somewhere else?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Chico was like, "Hey,
I like it.
why is it with the rest of them? Those are for my Marines. The Army goes over
Nah.
there."
Oh, I like. You know what? I like your mother-in-law already, bro. I like her. I like her. I gotta meet her. I gotta meet her. I like her. I like her.
and
Yeah.
and and I call it Chico's mom. That is my mother-in-law. I forgot. I got married
Yeah.
last
Well,
week.
yeah. Your mother-in-law. Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
she's also a Spurs fan who watches the games.
God, love
Oh
So
her. Love her
man.
to
so
death.
very
Love her to
very
death. I
very
gotta meet
nice.
her. We gotta meet. Does she live out there in Conroe or?
She lives in Willis, which is the next town over, which is about
Okay. We
a
gotta get her out
20-minute
to San
drive from me.
Antonio. We gotta get her out to San Antonio. We gotta do a game with her. All the whole thing, bro. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Very
Let's do
Hey
nice.
it.
Rick, I was
Yeah.
gonna hit you up too, man. I gotta hit you up pretty soon too, because my niece that I pick up every Friday, right, from
Yeah.
school to take her to
Uh oh.
school at
Yeah.
Stevens. This little girl was telling me the other time, she's like, I don't know how we got talking about. We're talking about Spurs games, and all of a sudden she's like, I never been to a Spurs game, Uncle.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I told her, really? And she's like, no, I've never been. I was like, all right, say less. I'll take you to one. So I was like, you know what? I gotta
Yeah.
hit up Rick and be like, hey man, maybe one of those times that you're not coming into town, I give
Yeah.
you some
Yeah.
petty up for the tickets or something,
Oh,
bro?
bro, it's free, bro. For you, your money's no good with me, Joe. Your money's no good with me, bro. It's free.
Yeah,
Matter
man.
of fact, I had the Warriors Cup game on Friday. I sold them to a homie, but I want to say I might have that Sunday game in that
Yeah,
same weekend. I don't know if you.
yeah,
Oh, we'll talk offline. We'll talk
yeah,
offline.
yeah.
But
We'll
yeah, yeah.
talk
I
offline.
got tickets for you. I got
Yeah,
you.
because she
Very
Especially
was
nice.
telling me
and
she ain't never gone before. I
oh,
was like,
and,
well,
and
I'll
you know what?
take
It's
you.
it's funny. It's funny you say that because I like when I think about giving away my tickets or raffling them away. I
Yeah,
always want to I want to give them to somebody who like, especially with a kid who's like never
yeah,
been. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
start a tradition. Because I started my kids going in the nosebleed seats, bro, way the
yeah.
fuck up there, bro. And
Exactly,
now
man.
so we started that way. So I love when people say like, oh, like I have either I'm a single mother or I'm a father or whatever. You don't have to be single, but just like, hey, my kids have never gone and like start a tradition. So like, bro, I will give the tickets to you. Like your money's no good to me. So yeah, man, let's do it.
Got you,
Let's do
man.
it real
Appreciate
quick.
you,
I know
homie.
we're gonna head out, but I want to say, Mike, you're gonna like this. I am gonna take my ass this weekend to Athens, Georgia, for the Texas Georgia game.
Georgia game.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Nice.
asked I asked this
Yeah.
I asked this question to Joe yesterday on the show. I don't know if you saw this part of the show. Right now, Texas ranked 10 in the nation.
Mhm.
Top 12 teams going to the playoffs.
Yes.
It is unheard of to have 3 losses and make a top 12 playoff,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
Let's say Texas beats Georgia.
They're what, five,
Or
6, right? What is
right,
Georgia? 5 or 6?
5 or
5.
6.
Yeah, 5.
Or
5. They're
or
5.
or
Yeah.
or what if they lose to Georgia but beat an undefeated A&M team?
Yes.
Could a team that has 3 losses, but those losses be to say
Yeah.
A&M, Ohio
Yeah.
State,
Yeah. Big,
and
big. Yeah.
Florida,
Yeah. The
do they
losses
allow?
matter.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'm gonna head out to Athens this weekend, and I've never been to an away game in Texas for Texas football, so I am so excited. I'm gonna be in my burnt orange. I'm gonna be in enemy territory in Athens, Georgia. A friend of mine, he's a Georgia grad. He's a lawyer. He invited me to the game, so he's gonna, obviously, I told him, I said, I'm gonna bring on my burnt orange, dog. Like, you already know what it is. Like, so I am so excited. I am so excited for. This is my last trip. The government shutdown is about to end, and we're about to go back to work. I'm gonna do one last trip to Georgia for the Texas Georgia game, and I'm excited, bro. I'm
All right,
excited.
I need a show of hands real fast. Chica just texted me right now. One thing about Chica, Jason, and this is where I feel lucky. Not only is she more attractive than me, but she makes my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have never had that type of scenario, but she does, right? She just texted me, asked me the question, would you like meatloaf tonight? Okay,
If
so
she
last
make it,
night.
then why are you gonna say
Hell
no,
yeah.
bro? You
Okay,
already know the
okay.
answer to that.
Mom,
I already know my I'll
I'll
take it. I'll take meatloaf.
I love me some meatloaf. I love me some meatloaf.
Last
Shit.
Wait,
night.
are you talking about the singer or the food?
Well, I mean, are you pro meatloaf? Because meatloaf is
Yes.
it's kind of a weird thing because she's normally Mexican flavor. Like last night
Yeah.
she made chicken tacos with
Hey,
avocados.
you could throw some hot sauce in the meatloaf, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Are
can
you
throw
are you
some
are you
hot,
pro?
hot sauce in the meatloaf? Yes.
This
Yes,
is
my ex-wife.
are you yay or nay on the meatloaf, Jason?
Yay.
My ex-wife, one of her dishes was meatloaf, so I'm for it, bro. I'm for meatloaf.
It reminds me of my
fuck it.
grandma, man. My grandma used to
Yeah.
make it for me when I was younger, dude. It was good as hell, dude. I'll throw down on some meatloaf.
Throw down some meatloaf. Okay. I'm not saying that I'm
Yeah.
complaining. I'm just saying that it's
Yeah.
kind of like a
You're
weird.
conflicted.
Well,
Meatloaf
it's
from
not a
Costco is
normal.
on point.
You're gonna eat meatloaf and you're not gonna mess with no wiener and egg, Mike. Come on, bro.
Dude, wiener and
Yeah.
egg is for peasants.
No.
Dude.
We
Sorry.
need eggs later on tonight, Mike. What are you talking about?
Wiener and egg, bro. Wiener and egg.
Joe,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Spurs are 8-2 on their way to a 13-2 start.
Yeah.
Joe, the Spurs get to 12-3 after 15 games. You're signing the form.
No.
12-3.
He's
No.
gonna wait till 20 games. Just
No. No.
You don't wait to 20 games, Jason, if
On
they're
principle, he's
12-3.
gonna stay.
No, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
you know how
no,
Stand
Joe
on
is.
that hill. I'm gonna
with
stand
you,
on that
Mike.
hill.
Wait for the
I
20
agree with you,
games.
Mike. But yeah.
He
Wait
could
for
drop
the
a 50 piece before the 20 games, man.
He doesn't need to. He has Castle. He's got Fox. He's got the big elote. He's got
Then it's 20
Keldon.
games. Then we wait the 20 games. We wait the 20.
Fernandez, I tell you what, man. If you could go back on Amazon Prime and watch the broadcast from the
Yeah, I
the
can.
Bulls,
Yeah, I'll go back and
Emirates
watch
Cup.
it.
Dude,
I'll go back and watch it. Yeah.
they were just in love with the Spurs roster.
Yeah, for glazing them.
They
Yeah.
were like, oh my god, that Keldon. He used to be
Yeah.
he used to be leading that team. Now he's their 8th guy. You know,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
they were
you know what I will say about Keldon, man. He's the OG of the Spurs. He's been there the longest, right? But you know what? He found his role and he's playing his role. Respect to that, man, because I think he's doing really well in his role. He found his role and he's not trying to be a starter or not, complaining or nothing. He's doing what he's doing. And he does a lot for the community. I know, Mike. You think, oh, that doesn't matter. He does do a lot for the community. He's out there in local boxers fights. He comes out to the fights at the shrine, like the little tiny shrine. Like seriously, like Keldon is like right, like that's fucking Keldon Johnson. So it's cool, man. Like I love that he found his like his niche. You know what I mean? He found his kind of spot where he needed to be. He's not gonna be a starter. He's not gonna be a star. He's not gonna be an all-star. That's okay, but. He's like the microwave, like Mike said,
You know what the move is not right now, gentlemen? It's near lunchtime. And you know what? I'm off today. I'm going to China Rose. The jewel of Puro Extra 7, bro.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Joe,
okay.
I am jealous about China Rose,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
The egg drop soup, bro. The
This
egg
is
telling
drop
you, man.
soup
this
is
is
the
a
move.
poll written all over it right here on this one.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. China Rose, I liked
yeah,
it. I liked it.
yeah.
I went
No, you
there.
said it was all right. And that lady
Lemon
put a big old
chicken,
bowl of egg
beef and
telling you, man.
broccoli. Yeah. I know
I'm
you like
I'm
you like Ding Hao, Mike. I know. I already know what you fucking
No,
like. I
bro.
already know.
No,
I
man.
already. You
No.
know what? That's that home shit though, bro. Those motherfuckers that went to homes, they're all
no
about Ding Hao,
no
and
the
Jay's all about China Rose.
the
That's what it is.
the
Yeah.
legend was HEB Marketplace though. That's
Oh,
that.
Oh yeah,
of
of
course,
course.
man.
Oh, of course.
Of
Oh,
course.
HEB Chinese. Shit, bro,
Bring
bro.
that back, man.
You want to talk about drunk food, bro? Oh my God. No, the
Look,
HEB Chinese was bomb, bro. It was bomb.
look at Jonathan
It
T.
might have been
You
a little
just lost PF
unsanitary.
Chang's.
It might have been a little unsanitary. You know what I mean? Like Jason knows what I'm talking about. It was a little unsanitary, dog. Exactly. SR is saying China Rose, all the cooks are Mexican. That's true. That's
That's true,
facts.
bro. No
You go to
lies.
China Rose, bro. Everybody back there is fucking Mexican, dude.
Yeah.
Puro.
The only
They keep it
Chinese
puro.
person in China Rose is the cashier. That she's the only one that greets you in Chinese. Everybody else is fucking Mexican in China Rose.
I saw
Exactly.
this comedian the other day. He's Italian. He goes, "I only eat authentic Italian cuisine made by Mexicans."
Exactly.
Which is like
Exactly.
on Culebra
lie.
Road. Culebra
Yes,
Road,
yes.
Umberto's.
I used to deliver Chinese food when I was a teenager in Alamo Heights. And bro, it was one of those like quiet, nice Chinese restaurants, like kind of like PF Chang's, the music and everything. The Chinese, ladies were in the front, whatever. Bro, you go to the back, they're jamming Tejano, they're straight Mexicans, bro. It's a different world, bro. Like going to the back kitchen versus the front was a different world. Different
Talking
world.
about
Jason's all about China Rose. Are
hey
you
Rick,
gonna,
are you talking about Hong Kong's? The one near Alamo Heights?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
UIW?
yes, yes,
It's
yes,
still there.
yes,
It's still there.
yeah, yeah. I delivered Chinese food from there when I was 18 or
oh
17.
Hey, man.
Texas Latina branching in Menchis
Mencias.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
on Fredericksburg.
yeah,
I've gone there.
Kind of bougie Chinese.
It's
yeah.
all right, bro.
Bougie
I've been there
Chinese.
plenty of times. It's all right. It's
It's
all
all
right.
right. It's all
I
right.
But
never
you know
been.
what?
I'll
The
be honest.
Dragon
I'll be
Inn,
honest.
dude.
I never been. I never been. Yeah,
Dragon
I gotta
Inn's
check it
not
out. I'll
bad.
check it out. Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah. We love our
Formosa
PF
Garden was
Chang's.
good.
We love our sponsor PF
We
Chang's.
do.
We're just talking.
I'm just saying, man.
We're
That's
talking
where
about
I'm going for
the
lunch.
neighborhood fair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love China Rose, bro. I love me some China Rose. So that's me. I love Joe knows. Joe already knows, bro. That
Yeah.
egg drop soup. I
Good,
judge
man.
Chinese restaurants on their egg drop soup. Like
Yeah.
that's how I determine if you're a good Chinese restaurant. Like I love egg drop soup. So yeah, I'll try your egg drop, and if it's trash, then I don't even
No.
want to try
Ever
your
gonna
food. Like I'm not.
ever
I'm not. I'm not.
ever go to Chinatown here in Houston?
Oh
No.
yeah, man. I've been there.
Okay, on Bel Air Street. Oh my God, dude!
Mhm.
It is like
Good stuff.
as
Great.
Man.
It's
far
good.
as the eye can
Is it good?
see, Chinese food and
It's good.
It's
and
like a market. It's
Korean.
like it's a market, but it's all Chinese, dude. All Chinese
Yeah.
food, everything.
Just picture 3
What's
or
that?
4 blocks where every restaurant is a Chinese restaurant or
Yeah. What's
or a
that?
Korean.
What's that place downtown, Joe? You know what I'm talking about, right by County. Is it like Golden Star or something like that?
Oh
It's
yeah,
right, bro.
man.
I'm talking. It's by the county jail, and the only reason I know because when my dad would get out, we'd go to that's where we'd go because you're right
China
there by
Star.
county. Yeah. That place is good. That place Golden
It
Star.
was
Yeah,
back in the day,
yeah.
man, but it's
Oh, it
taking a
was back in
dive
the day. I don't
now.
know what
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
but yeah. Whenever my dad had to get bailed out, we'd go to Golden Star because it's right by county jail. So yeah.
Dang, Joe! Before we leave, we hit that hour 40 mark, man. We went far today.
Yeah.
Spurs Nation posting something about Wemby, saying not only did he have the go-ahead three-pointer, the game-winning three-pointer, he also had the game-tying three-pointer. So it was beyond
Mira
the heroics, Joe. Sign the damn form.
Yeah.
Mira
Sign it
Wemby.
now.
No,
Oh yeah, I
No.
remember the tie and the win. Yeah.
absolutely not. I'm not signing that form. Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody right now. They all want me to sign the form, and I'm gonna give you one response: cry harder, host. I ain't doing it.
Well, it's official. It's official. Nico Harrison has been fired. So the rumblings were true.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Cry
That's what
harder,
they call
host.
it. Bye. Yep.
You guys can come back up here to Nike.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
the Nike executive. I'm sure he'll go back over there. So
Hey, I've actually seen the Nike plant up here or the campus. Holy shit, that is big. I mean, it's
yeah,
almost as big as the USAA.
Really?
yeah.
Hey, real
Yeah,
fast
it's
before we
nice.
go, you've been to the last Blockbuster over there in Bend, Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mike.
Oh yeah, the Blockbuster.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He signed an NDA. He signed an NDA, bro. He
Was it
signed
worth
an
it?
NDA,
Was it
dog.
worth the drive to go to the last Blockbuster video?
The drive was worth it because one of the reasons why I moved up here is the scenery along the way. Because Bend, Oregon is southeast of here. Going down there, and I just happened to see 3 mountains or volcanoes, and it's called the Three Sisters. And I mean, it's just a beautiful scenery out there. I went through a native reservation. You go there, there's this huge casino going down this valley just to get there. But yes, it's definitely worth the drive down there. 2 hours of just seeing nothing but beautiful scene after scene after scene. And for some reason, there's an Air Force base in between here and Bend, Oregon, which I have no idea what they do out there besides look at farm fields.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
But
And we got
walk
an
out,
incoming
walking down the
super
aisle.
chat.
We'll end the show with this, Joe. Go ahead and quote this.
Yeah, incoming super chat from Greg Castanuela. Thank you so much, Greg. He says,
Thank you.
Happy Veterans Day. Mira, Wemby, generational, no mames. No mames con Wemby.
You know what? I think as we leave, Joe, on behalf of all the veterans out there, because they actually put up a fight, we got to give them the Sitco guy. You got to
Oh,
give him the
God.
Yeah.
Sitco guy.
All right. here we go.
Defending the nation like this.
Todos me pegan toda la pura verga. Me tapan a la verga. Mira.
I bet
The
you right
mili-
now there's a guy at the sick around
exactly.
the corner that's exactly like that right now. bro.
Exactly. He's probably a veteran, bro. He's probably a fucking veteran, dog. Like shit.
Yeah, the military, U.S. military, definitely an F around and find out when it's all said and done. So thank you so much to all the veterans out there, especially those who were on the show today, Fernandez, Rick, and Jason Garcia.
Appreciate
for
you.
all that you've done and all that stuff, and Joe for what you do for the federal government as well. Very, very nice. Joe, we're gonna put a bow on the show.
Yep.
We'll be back
Put a bow on the
tomorrow.
show.
Yeah, man. We went longer, but it was good, man. It felt good. It didn't feel long. So I appreciate you guys. Stay puro.
Puro Exit 7's finest in the house, bro.
You already know. You already know, bro. You already know.
All right, man. We'll see you boys tomorrow. Have a good one. Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. Thank you all for what you do. We're out of here. Peace.
Wait.
Stay puro.